Today. Now going over to the political part of the podcast, you have Vivek Ramaswamy on Thomas Jefferson quote around tyranny of the mind goes viral on X Twitter. Now this comes to us thanks to, again, Vivek's personal X Twitter profile. And he says this little quote before actually he says it in the video. He says, quote, "I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man," unquote. That is from Thomas Jefferson, September 1800. And it's only about a minute 12 long, so not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and, without further ado, play it over here.
I'm at the Jefferson Memorial, taking my son Arjun around to see the monuments. Speak about our founding fathers. I want to pass that on to our kids so they have an understanding of our history as well. Thomas Jefferson. He was a guy who spoke not just of a tyranny in general. He spoke specifically about standing up to a tyranny of the mind. He was a guy who had a mind that was boundless in its capacity. Wrote 16,000 letters, the equivalent of essays, over the course of his lifetime. Wrote the Declaration of Independence, of course, but also an inventor of the polygraph test, of the swivel chair. He risked not just his life, but also his fortune, went bankrupt almost several times over, spending his personal fortune for public libraries. Contrast that with the politicians in Washington, D.C. today, using public money to advance their personal goals. These are our founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson included, who were using their personal fortunes, always to the point of bankruptcy almost in certain cases, to advance the goals of the country. It's worth remembering these guys, and you know what? I think we live in a 1776 moment today. That's what Thomas Jefferson would tell us if he were alive right now. And we honor that legacy not by shutting up, sitting down, and doing what we're told, but to standing up against the tyranny of the mind that I think prevails today.
Eloquent, couldn't have said it better myself. And it is quite unfortunate. I wonder how many average students in the United States even know who Thomas Jefferson is when, I should be told, public schools, in terms of all the metrics, they're at all-time low. Every test they take, they do a little bit worse on, and yet the ACT score is at a 32-year low, actually, and yet the teachers' unions, they say deserve more and more money. And fascinatingly enough, the areas where they spend the most money on students, they actually perform the worst. Think of Chicago and Detroit students. So it'll be interesting to see, hopefully, more and more people hear these types of messages, and I think probably overwhelming majority of the comments will be in support of Vivek, but let's dive in the comments and find out. First one comes from Paul Zazupa saying, quote, "God is great. He's part of the foundation of the USA. That's a good thing," unquote, getting 57 likes. Daniel says Trump 2024, getting 18 likes. Standing for Freedom Center says, quote, "The record shows America is a Christian nation. Here's why," unquote, getting 2.7 thousand likes. You have, scrolling down more and more. We have Atal Agarwal saying, quote, "1800s, Thomas Jefferson was a publicly consistent opponent of slavery, calling it a moral depravity." 2024, 1.8 million high-skilled legal Indian immigrants waiting for 100 years to get a green card in America, unquote, getting 41 likes, but 100 plus years, that's, what? Is he combining the years of all those? Not sure what he's talking about, considering how much business the United States does with India, especially with technology. They're one of the largest outsourcing places on the planet. Wipro is one of the largest IT consultants on the planet with all the help they have, and they frequently have employees come to the United States, not just on temporary visas, but I know also they become permanent residents in some cases, and some go on to become citizens. Interesting comment, though. Going down, you have Chris Ross saying, quote, "Vivek, I am so hopeful that you will play a major role in the next administration. Men like you are hard to come by, and it is my opinion that our founding fathers hoped that this dream of the American experiment would be protected by guys like you. Thank you." I'm quoting 46 likes. Bulldog for Vivek saying, quote, "Fun fact, Thomas Jefferson was the first vice president before becoming president of the United States, number 3, getting 16 likes." And I should have spoke about the statistics earlier. This, for Vivek, didn't do the best, but I thought it was one of the best messages he put out lately. It got 437,000 likes in the first 48 hours, so earlier it did probably not too bad. It also got 21,000 likes. So an important message, and I wonder how many Americans truly believe in the founding fathers these days, and how much will it really resonate with people. But not too surprised that when you're scrolling down, you got the one or two contrarian statements. But as usual, pretty much overwhelming positive responses for Vivek. And again, it'll be fascinating to see what his future is when it comes to politics, but as I always say, time shall tell. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback on how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.